Hello everyone, we are here at the Bösendorfer Salon in the heart of Vienna, doing an exclusive interview for MusicWorldWide magazine under the umbrella of PianoWorldWide. With me here is a superstar pianist and entrepreneur, Dorian Marko. Hello Dorian, thank you very much for your time. It is an honor to have you here. So, for example, at the beginning, can you tell us, you're a successful pianist and also a CEO of several tech companies. How do you manage to stay organized on top of everything, and would you consider yourself a workaholic?
No.
Okay.
I think everyone else would. So the reason I work this much is because I understand that the world is going in a direction where it's a lot more difficult to build any kind of career or accumulate any kind of wealth, full stop, in business. So I've more or less put music to the side. I haven't done a lot for the last 3 years in the music side of things. AI is exploding, and it's exploding more than most people even know. People kind of think they know what's happening, but the consumer-facing stuff is about 1% of what's really happening. So it's more out of responsibility and obligation. You know, this is a wave now that's happening, and I've decided to ride it, basically.
Yeah, I believe you started doing business much more before AI became available.
My oldest company that I still own is a sample library company.
Yeah.
We make virtual instruments. So for anyone who doesn't know, it's an instrument you load up on it's a program you load up on your computer, you plug in an electric keyboard, play, and it sounds like an orchestra, trumpet, whatever. A lot of people still don't know that most of the music they listen to on the radio and even in films and stuff is played like that. So that's what we make. Now, the speed of making one of those products, a good one, could have amounted to 2-3 years, sometimes even.
Yeah.
This kind of work we've condensed now into, if you put a gun to my head, we could probably finish it in 2-3 days.
Wow.
That's due to in-house AI tools that we have. So that's part of the riding the wave I spoke about earlier. So we've got a system that we're continuously adding to.
Mm-hmm.
It's more or less understands the recording that comes out of the session in terms of what everything is. It contains, to my knowledge, what is the most advanced pitch detection and tuning algorithm, which is completely lossless. And now it's entered the territory of being able to fill in gaps. So we don't have to record everything we would have had to record. It's more you leave certain gaps and get as much as you need for the thing to understand, and it will, create the rest of the material perfectly.
Yeah.
So, that's just within this tiny little niche. I mean, this is a small industry. Outside that, I've got projects I can't talk about, but I'll try and say something which sort of alludes to at least the speed of things. It's on the content side of things. It's to do with video.
Is it still connected to the music or no?
No, it's not. It's any content. So I'm trying to think of something I can say. Usually I wouldn't care. Before AI, I wouldn't care too much about saying what we're doing, because when we're halfway through, in my mind, I'm like, we've done so much of it, no one can catch up. But now we've got to the point where someone comes along with a team of 200 people and they finish it by next week. So you know what, we leave it. I mean, I'm working on a couple of other AI projects. I'm working on a couple of AI plugins in music for music production. Those are kind of smaller, so things like reverbs, stuff like that, which just does some of the sort of so-called shit work, you know. I like that side of things. I don't like when AI creates stuff that humans can
do. Because it's a pointless idea.
Yeah, but I like when AI gets rid of the stuff that no one really likes doing.
Yeah, useless time of work.
Yeah, exactly. I actually never liked hiring people to do spreadsheets. It always felt wrong. I was like, I know I'm paying the person, even if they're happy, there's something strange about hiring someone and being like, okay, you're going to sit here every day from this time to this time and just go through numbers and copy this number to this number. It's like almost an insult to human.
Could we expect soon to have an opportunity maybe to listen you in live at some venue or something?
Soon, probably not. Maybe in a few years.
Okay, yeah. I believe that's soon enough.
Oh, okay, well, if that's soon, then probably, yeah.
That's interesting, okay, thank you. And yeah, the next question, I have to mention your rendition of Interstellar, which of course, reach a staggering 20 billion streams. And my question would be, after there is no basically any person in the world who hasn't heard it, how did that affect your point of view and understanding of piano and music industry itself? The whole success of that.
I would say it solidified what I thought, as opposed to show me anything new, because the people know the Cornfield Chase cover, but what they don't know is that was part of a sort of set of experiments. So if you watch that video, you'll notice the tuning is like half a cent-ish.
Okay.
Between half a semitone, sorry, between. So I did that to make sure it's using different notes from everything else everyone's been hearing all day. I put the coffee on the piano, I believe, in that clip. There's about 20 to 30 things I put into that.
Okay.
Because every single thing is like an extra few percent are more likely to react to this. And I guess you can do that to a sort of extreme where I guess I guess the cup of coffee is rage baiting in a way, but I discovered that because once I put a cup of coffee on my piano and everyone's like, oh, you can't do that.
Yeah.
How dare you put that coffee on that piano? I'm thinking like, mate, I can throw it off a bridge if I want, it's mine. But anyways,
of course.
literally, like, I get like that extra few people that will watch it for a bit longer and it pushes it up. And then you get to your audience, so it's a bit of it's a weird game, and there's a big mix of like what people see as passion and creativity, and then how does that bleed into business. And there's a lot of this kind of idea of I should be able to just do what I love and everyone should pay money and give me their attention for it, and I think that's completely stupid and selfish, because you are entitled to do everything you want that fulfills you and your passion and everything, but the moment you start asking for someone's time or money, and asking for someone's time is like asking for their money in a way anyway, then it's kind of like, well, why? You have to convince them, they're not supposed to, they don't have to give you. So from this sense, the whole social media thing is a big business. It is like,
it is.
You keep your dignity as much as you can, you have a moral compass, and then you do things within that. Some people take all their clothes off. Yeah, that works as well, but
yes.
This is kind of part, there's a scale of like what do you think is okay and what's not. I don't think that's okay,
exactly. What is the meaning behind your tattoo, or the main tattoo, at least?
I like wolves and music, basically.
Okay. And it's just like that?
More or less, yeah. I've got Vuk on my car, that means wolf in Croatian.
Yeah? Okay. That's interesting.
It's visual. I don't have some deep, like, some relative somewhere, no.
Yeah, because
there's a reason I like wolves. The first kind of recognition I got when I was younger for any project was I took a book called Wolf Brother by an author called Matej.
Yeah.
It's like a kid's novel. Do you know it?
No, I know about the Wolf of the Prokofiev, but it's.
Oh, okay. No, it's like a sort of young teens book. So I read that when I was younger, and then I was trying to get into film music around 18-ish when I was in conservatory, and I decided to do a project where I had no movie to write music to, so I took a book and I wrote like a score to it, and I paid an artist some small money I had at the time to draw pictures for the scenes.
Yeah.
And that kind of very, very slightly got me in the circles of people who kind of work around Hollywood and stuff, and I got my first kind of acknowledgement of, you know what you're doing from one of them. So I kind of had a special place in my heart. So that's kind of, I suppose, the whole wolf thing. Some people got the same tattoo.
Really?
Yeah, they said it to me. I'm like, great. Like, and one guy, he was like, would you be okay if I did it? And I was like, well, I can't stop you, but at least change it. That's going to be on you forever. And he sends me a picture. He's like, oh, I did it already.
No, a different animal.
Why'd you ask me then? It's like, it's your skin. Don't you want to have something different from someone else? Like, and he's a pianist as well, so yeah, strange, but yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, do you enjoy more composing or performing music?
Yeah, writing, producing. But if I'm performing what I wrote.
Of course, it is a part of the process, but just
but playing other people's stuff, no.
Yeah.
I like it, but not as much. So
Yeah.
I would always choose writing and producing, and then I would like performing that just as much as I do writing it.
Yes.
But by giving...
Because it's the end of the process, actually.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever give like a recital of Liszt. I would play like rap concertos because I have certain things I want to do with them different, but I don't think I will ever... I mean, never say never. I don't necessarily say no, you know, it's nice when you one day 1 or 2 concerts here and there, but I'm not too interested in classical style.
Where do you seek an inspiration, and what drives you when it comes to the music, and what when it comes to the business?
There's not a lot of... In terms of... I mean, okay, let's tackle the music first. So with music, it's so random. I mean, I literally will wake up in the middle of the night sometimes with an idea, like a tune. It's usually when I'm doing something completely unrelated. So if I sit down and try to write music, I mean, like I said, it's been a few years since I've done that, but it doesn't work. It will always happen while I'm trying to do a different job. So in a weird way now, I kind of know that if I don't have a tune or good harmony or whatever, probably best to find some other job that's on my list and do it, and it will come, versus sitting there and trying to think of something. Meditation is good because it clears your mind. Being tired is good because when you're tired, the part of your brain I've found that judges what you do and tells you like what you've made as shit kind of goes to sleep. So I found that. In terms of business, I don't know if I would use inspiration as the word. In terms of ideas, usually the ideas in business come from a product I want. Sometimes I even make, this project I kind of couldn't talk about was something I made for myself, just because I needed it.
You felt you needed it.
I needed it, and I was using it, and I was like, oh shit, this is serious.
Yes.
So it's usually that, and those kind of products almost always work, because if you work in something, and especially if you're successful in something and then you really need something, and even better if you make the thing and it does make your life better, that's the recipe. Then you just need to market it well, and those two components will fly. That's it.
Yeah. You have devoted a lot of energy and work in modern technologies, including AI. In your opinion, how will the rapid developments on a global scale that you already talked about affect live music performances? And a little bit you talked about, could we see the concerts without performance in the future, like on a global scale?
We already do.
Yes.
Got ABBA live in London.
Yeah, there was something like.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your point?
Hopefully not at all, but probably yes. Not interested again. I don't understand the whole, 10,000 people, 40,000 people watching a light bulb jump around. I don't get it. I really don't.
Yes.
People come home and they're like, oh, it was like I saw Michael Jackson. It's like, but it wasn't. So you just paid money to trick your brain. Yeah. I don't like that kind of thing. I mean, concerts are concerts. Like I never go to a concert of an artist I really love and come out thinking that would be so better if like technology was better. Of course. Back in the day, I would understand. Back when TV was black and white, and people know what color is and what black and white is. They know it'd be better if we could see detail more. But we got all that now. Now they're doing like 1632K TVs and stuff. It's like, realistically, does it really do anything? Not really. So it's the same thing with concerts. I mean, the pyrotechnics are already sick. All the lights are sick. It's just awesome. I feel like, I don't know, maybe they'll come up with some cooler drone shows and things like that. That's all right. But the performer-less stuff is just weird to me. I find that a kind of big sheep pit.
So you think, because you spend a lot of time in the developments, you think the AI is not a threat at all to the performance?
Oh, I think it is. I just don't like it.
Okay.
I think it 100% will happen because it's like an obvious gap. Imagine like an artist who has millions of fans in some country somewhere, and that artist dies.
Yes.
Some company is going to see, where there's a money vacuum, someone will fill it up. It's inevitable. Because if they haven't, well, there's the gap. That's what people are, so someone will find it. So, yeah, sadly, I think it's more or less inevitable. Not interested.
or do you feel we are approaching a point where people will lose interest in social media and phone usage in a relatively near future?
There's two answers to that. One's a yes, one's a no.
Okay.
So I'll start with the no. We have basically desensitized ourselves, or we're certainly right at the edge of that, to everything. Because what was like the first YouTube video? It was a bunch of dudes jumping around with sticks, jumping around the bike.
Exactly.
And then you had, fast forward like a couple of thousand years, you got like operas, hours and hours long, very expensive, very difficult to go to. So if you were like some aristocrat, you paid for that ticket, you went there, you saw the show, you waited like 3-4 hours for the build up, and for that one moment where like the character dies or something and you go home, it's like wow. And then if you were like a normal person, like a peasant, you didn't get to go, but you know about it as this sort of wow thing. So the whole thing was wow, and then you kind of go and you go and you go and you go, and then we get like movies. Movies didn't have sound, then they got sound. They were very long. Old movies are crazy long.
Yes.
And then we start to squash everything. So, 2.5 hours, 1.5 hours, Netflix, YouTube. We had YouTube go through a few phases. So it was like, I remember there was a point where 12 minutes was the golden sort of amount of time. Then it went to 10, then it went to 8. What was after that? Probably something like Instagram and Shorts.
TikTok became.
Yeah, but it was first like 60-second videos, and then it was squashed more and more. And then meanwhile, you've got Netflix coming out, kind of monopolizing it and just churning series out all the time. So now you sit down, you literally cannot watch things fast enough at the rate they're putting it out.
Absolutely.
And now TikTok added a fast forward button, so you can watch it in double speed.
Yes, exactly.
And in my mind, I'm like, where does this end? On pills. Like once you've killed. I mean, I remember Johnny Depp like standing in court after all the medication on that ridiculous case with Amber Heard, telling people that if you show me a beautiful painting, I don't feel anything because that part of my brain is like ruined by drugs. I think that the whole social media thing is doing the same thing. It's just doing it a little bit slower and less extreme, but it will get there. So in that sense, the answer is it's becoming increasingly, everyone's sort of increasingly numb. The other side of things is there's always kind of a correct answer. Imagine that I show you like a grid of 100 squares, like 10 by 10, and they're all like varying shades of purple, yeah? And I make one square orange. I turn it around, what square are you going to look at?
Of course, that one.
Right. So this is kind of an analogy for what catches your attention, but it doesn't make the orange correct, because then if I make all the other ones orange, you want to make it purple. So in this way, you just want to try and see what everyone's doing and do the opposite. And even like there's simple instances of that in business. Another simple example is like newsletters. It's one of the highest converting methods of promotion. And subject lines, for example, no one was using emojis at the start. So if you added emojis in, guaranteed everyone sees it more. The graph spikes.
Exactly.
And now everyone's using it. You have to do something else. So you kind of write a subject line, all lowercase, I'm sorry, and then they open it and they're like, but I had to release the greatest product ever.
Exactly.
But once everyone starts doing stuff like that, you have to change it. So you always have to just be ahead in some way, but ahead is even the wrong word, just be different, stand out. So you have to be aware of what everyone's doing and do otherwise. And Cornfield Chase is a very good example of that, because you have people trying to make content, you got people following trends, trying to jump on the trend, and then you got creating the trend, which is obviously way more difficult.
It's completely a different point of view.
More difficult, but exponentially more reward. So
absolutely.
And I think you should do all of them. You should do a bit of everything, like investment. You don't.
Yeah, like a testing, especially because it's free. You invest your time, of course.
Yeah.
But so your answer is that people can still.
I think they can still for now. It's more difficult and it's not looking great for the future. Although I find it hard to imagine what would have to happen to make it impossible to be different. There's always going to be like the sheep. So
yes, exactly. Or stop using the devices if we do it on a global
that'll
scale.
never happen, sadly. I mean, it should. I wish it did. I wish we stopped seeing like bloody iPad babies everywhere.
But it's very interesting because everybody that are working with the social media and with the technologies, most of us, I believe, we kind of crave for that everything stops and we go back to something that is formal life and something that is very, normal and modest life, let's say.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I often make this joke to my friends that one day they're just going to hear from me like I bought a farm somewhere and pissed off, like
exactly.
left all the technology. Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. The only problem is I think not enough people are thinking like that. I think too many are swallowed up by the whole content consumerism culture.
Yes.
I mean, there are places you can go in the world where you can't look in the ceiling or on any of the walls because there's posters and promotion everywhere. Sometimes you go into a classroom, even in classrooms, and there's like bits of blue tack and little pictures. Like, I don't know how those kids learn anything. Like, there's too much to look at. Like, yeah, so everyone's super hyper stimulated, and it doesn't end well because we know what happens with hyperstimulation is desensitization. And then there needs to be some kind of reset, and how that will happen remains to be seen.